What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Operation Meteor Briefing. We're going to start our 5-part series on GD03 cards. We're going to break this down by color. We'll throw out some Gundam lore and trivia along with the FAQs I do along with certain cards. Well, and without any further ado, we will start with purple. Why? Because this is one of my favorite Gundams, the Gundam X yet. Trans Am. This card has suppression and the effect of when this unit destroys an enemy shield area card with battle damage. If there are 10 or more celestial being cards in your trash, choose one enemy unit with the less HP and destroy it. So this is very nice because it doesn't matter if the opponent has one unit that has full health and it's like 7, it'll strap murder it. Trans Am is an effect inside the Gundam 00 universe to where GN drive triples the output for the cost of its operational time, which gives us this red hue. Check the FAQ. When choosing a unit with the less HP for the second effect, do I look at the base damage or the current HP that is reduced by damage as such? Choose a unit with the current lowest HP. So again, if you have like a Wing Zero that has 1 health and someone has a 4 cost unit, the Gundam Wing Zero because it has 1 HP. Additionally, does the second effect of choose one enemy unit with the lowest HP mean you can choose one unit with 3 HP when there are 2 units with 3 HP and 1 unit with 5 HP on the enemy field? Yes, when there are multiple units with the lowest HP, choose one of them. So you're not locked out if you happen to have 2 DSs out there and you need to kill one. Following up, we have the Gundam Barbatos Lupus. Activate main, choose 3 Tekkaden and Teiwa's unit cards in your trash, exile them from the game. If you do, choose one enemy unit and deal 2 damage to it. So, for Rev, this is usually assigned to Wolf, and we'll get into that when we see its final form in this game. We have an FAQ in this card as well, where are the cards exiled by this effect plays and the removal area. This is a separate area from trash set in the location where exiled cards are placed, not including tokens. So for those of you who have not been exiling cards in your games yet, so you're just going to make another pile, put it aside like where your dice are, or if you have extra resources just hang out, just make sure they just don't get commingled back into the game, or else you could be penalized for not keeping a clean playing area. Gundam X Divider. When linked, you may choose one unit card that's level 4 or lower from your trash, pay its cost to deploy it. So it's really handy if you're running long cards or you have a really good, like a blocker in your discard pile to do that. Jamil is a pilot that was the original Gundam X pilot before, ditching the unit for a period of time before, Grog picked it up. We have an FAQ. We have the unit deployed by this effect has a deploy effect. Does it activate? Yes, it does. So, it says deploy, draw a card, draw the card. Gundam Virtue, activate main, support 2. When this unit deals battle damage to an enemy unit that is level 5 or lower, if you have a sense of being in play, destroy that enemy unit. FAQ. If this unit deals battle damage and destroys an enemy unit with the second effect, does that fall within the criteria when this unit destroys an enemy unit battle damage? No, it does not. That is destruction from an effect. So make sure you keep in mind that this has to sign into something. And we got the Gundam Gusion remake Full City. Blocker and during para once per turn. During your turn, when one of your Tekkaden and Teiwa's units receives effect damage, choose one enemy unit that is level 4 or lower and rest it. So not bad, get a rest effect. And then we got the Zeydra. High maneuver. Along with when paired extra on their pilot, you may choose 4 vacant cards from your trash, exile them from the game. If you do, choose one enemy unit that's level 4 or lower and destroy it. FAQ. Same thing, where the cards exiled by this effect plays, just again, separate area, just make sure it's not anywhere near the play zone that can be confused for a hand or a discard pile. Gundam Hajiroboshi, second form. When paired with a purple pilot, choose one enemy unit that's level 2 or lower and destroy it. So, good for when people are summoned down the aggro units, I guess. And then, cool thing about this, I found out when watching the return, Hajiroboshi is not the name of this unit. It's something that they kind of hint at through the whole movie, so if you have not seen it, I strongly recommend if you just want to get more. It's a little bit rushed, but it's kind of cool. Gundam Barbatos Adept. Deploy. Choose one of your units and one enemy units. Deal 1 damage to them. I'm gonna FAQ. When there are no enemy units at play, can I choose one of my own units and activate this effect? No. It will only activate if you can choose both units. So no second unless there's another guy out there. Even if that helps, sadly get that Barbatos 4th form with suppression. Can't get it that way. I'll be pretty high on this card, just because I have the ping effect, replaces on show for some folks. I've seen that in a couple of videos, and then the fact that it can survive Wing 0 Plus is kind of nuts too. GN Armor Type E blocker rests this unit to change the attack target to. So GN Armor, it's just auxiliary unit. This one's attached to Extra, which is why it's a Type E. Pretty cool. Dynamis also gets one, but looks like we're not getting this set. Farsia. When this card is in your trash, this card in your trash gets cost -1. So the FAQ is level S reduced by this card effect? No, it is not. So this card in your trash gets cost -1, helps you if you have a card that helps bring a unit out from play. So it's just cheaper to play, I guess. The Zedas R. Attack, you may choose one Vegan card from your trash. Exile it from the game. If you do, choose one of your Vegan units. It gets AP +2 during this turn. FAQ, same thing. They're pretty much hammering on the fact that do not place this right next to in your discard pile or your token pile, separate areas. Keep the game nice and neat. Well, we've got the CGS Worker command type. Once per turn, during your turn, when this unit receives effect damage, deploy 1 rested CGS Mobile Worker. Tech it in EP1, HP1 unit token. So some token spam, it's not bad. Gundam Barbatos 6th form. When this unit has 1 HP, gains repair 3. At the end of return, which recovers specified number of HP. So this is right before we get the Lupus, so this is kind of its last form at the end of Season 1 of Iron Blood Orphans, so pretty cool. Then we got the GX bit. Deploy this unit. If you deploy this unit from your trash, choose 1 enemy unit with 4 or less HP, deal 2 damage to it. So you can kind of pair this with the X Divider, play the side of your graveyard, you can just ping something as well, so you get a ping and a unit with that effect from the X Divider, which would be nice. If you don't know, these wings look familiar because these GX bit actually were like drones that the Gundam X would control in battle. The O Gundam. Pretty cool effect, not effect, but cool artwork. It's the 1/2/1 card that has special beings to make it work a little bit more efficiently. The Defurse, you may choose 1 extra random card from your trash and add to your hand. If you do, discard 1 on deploy, so not too bad if you're needing to cycle some cards out. And then we got the Zedas M, got the cooler exchange, the 3/3, level 3 cost 2 card. Gundam Barbatos 5th form ground type. No effect, just a 5/4, just another vanilla card for Mikazuki Link. Rouei? Yeah, I don't think I recall seeing this one. Deploy, you may choose one of your units, deal 1 damage to it. It gets AP +1 on its turn, so not a bad one. Links with anyone with a Tailwind or Tekkadan trait. So what you could do with this is if you ping this, if throw laughter on it, this unit gets high maneuver on Link, which could be kind of nuts. So keep that in mind. I think this was built for her with that in mind. Gundam Hajiroboshi, while there's a friendly base in play, this unit gains blocker. It's not too bad. A low blocker. 3/3 gets the same stat as Rick Diaz in purple, so kind of handy. Zeheart Galette. First, add this card to your hand. Place the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash. If you placed a Vegan card with this effect, choose 1 enemy unit. It gets AP -2 during this turn. So if you recognize this last ad, which I don't know how many of you do, because it seems like it's just something a lot of people watched, but his brother's Dessel. And the reason why this is kind of a weird thing is that there's some time between Gundam Age 1 and 2 storyline. And so He grows up, but Dessel goes into cryogenic. It's a whole thing. But yeah, he's technically the younger brother of Dessel that we saw from GD02. Azee grew him in. First, add this card to your hand. When this unit receives effect damage, choose one enemy unit. It gets AP -1 during this turn. So if you ping her thing, so the idea is you ping her with one of your effects, and then you can give AP -1 to one of your enemy units. And that's kind of a fun. Yeah. Goodness. Just want to make sure I got that right. But yeah, you can basically make something get weaker while you ping her. Here's Jamil Burst, and this card to your hand, you may discard one. If you do, draw one. So starting like while attack, so it's every time you attack with him, you can cycle a card, which can be kind of nice, especially if you're trying to put cards in your discard. Effect these at 2/1 can make some of those vulture trait cards actually hurt now. Kind of fun. What I kind of laugh about is that, side spoiler, even though it says new type here, the whole part of the series is actually trying to recover these new type skills by the time that season ends. Wistario Afam. Add this card to your hand on burst during link once per turn. During your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, look at the top 2 cards of your deck and return one to the top. Place the remaining cards into your trash. So another good mill. If you're not familiar with Wistario, he is in the Earth Hunt and then the mobile game that kind of features it. His FAQ states, does this effect activate when even when both units are destroyed in battle? Yes, it does. So, if he takes some Zeheart, you still get the effect. Look of Determination. Burst. Activate this card's action. Choose one active enemy unit level 2 or lower and destroy it. If there are 10 or more cards in your trash, choose one active enemy unit that is level 4 or lower instead. Well, this is a game changer for some decks, especially if you're playing Vulture. There are some self-mill decks. The thing is that we have an FAQ. I play this card when there's 9 or less cards in my trash. At this time, can this effect choose an enemy unit that is level 4 or lower? No, it cannot. The reason being is that it checks the moment the card is played. So that's why the timing matters. So if you have to mill one more card to get this effect to kill level 4, do it, because the card itself played does not count as a card in the discard pile when it's played. But yeah, a lot of people are saying, yeah, that gets rid of a whole mess of things from strikes to Gundam, the RX-78 to a lot of stuff at level 4, so not bad. Just for your M. Choose one friendly unit paired with an X rounded pilot. It cannot receive battle damage from enemy units with 2 or less HP during this battle. If you're a level 7 or higher, it cannot receive battle damage from enemies with 5 or less HP. It's a pretty good effect. That should be told in detail, but yeah, that is like Gundam Age 1 in her visor. That's one thing about Age 1 I think is the better part of the series, is that there's a lot of stuff to unwrap here, but I do like this effect. If you're playing with some purple and green, you can ramp up. I mean, 5 or less AP, 5 or less AP can be huge when it comes down to the amount of cards that you can absorb damage from. Whatever's Destiny, main action, choose one friendly vegan unit and one enemy unit, deal 2 damage to them. So a self-ping to your vegan unit and the other, not sure how well that goes. The vegan units are kind of squishy as there are, so. Orga's Order. If 1 to 4 enemy units are in play, deploy 1 Gray's custom Tekkadan AP2 HP2 unit token. If there are 5 or more in play, deploying 1 Gundam Barbatos 4th form Tekkadan AP4 HP4 unit token. So it's a, I don't know. I kind of like this card more, but the problem I have with it is that it just doesn't solve the issue of the fact that you get that far in the game, you're in a world of hurt anyway. I think the community was kind of on that page, but you can get that going. Well, prior to you. The Hotarubi, deploy this card on burst and 1 of your shields to your hand during your turn. When 1 of your friendly Tekkadan and Tailwars units receives an effect damage, you may rest a space. If you do place the top card of your deck into your trash. So this is when you start ping. This helps middle cards. It helps set up those cards like the last one we saw, where you can, if you have a certain amount of cards in your discard, you get some more effect. For one, a little bit on the cost side and doesn't really do much, but it's a good way to like, help you mill cards into your deck. Oh, what was there an FAQ? No, just quick. Make sure we aren't missing them, because that was half the point of this is get people familiar. Downs. Wish to play this card, add one of your shields to your hand. Then, if it is your turn, you may choose one vacant unit card that is level 4 or lower from your trash. Pay its cost to the player. So, like with that one that was like -1 cost to deploy from your discard, this would be one of the ways to do it as well. If the unit deployed by this effect has a deploy effect, does it activate? Yes, it does. That's it. We got through a whole lot of our improvement codes. I know that the Tekken and Tails group has lemon on their stuff, especially with the play stuff for Angsha. So still being gets a couple more cards in purple to replace some of the vanilla cards. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Gundam X players can pull off with a lot of their stuff. I like the X Divider, and I like Jamil's effect a little bit. And I definitely like some of the more kill effects that we get, like Look Up Determination and a few others. So with that, they'll close off our purple color list for today, and then we'll be back with the next color, and they'll give you that Orga green, because I want to finish up Celestial Being. And with that, you guys have a good one, and yeah, with that, this is Sal with Operation Meteor, signing off.